We are back. This is the brand new Sports in That, say it again, Sports in That podcast. Your 2020 sucked. Our 2020 sucked. 2021, kicking it off the right way because why? The trio's fucking back. It's me, Tyler, joined as always by my boys, Lucas.
Welcome back, people.
And Chance.
What's good, everybody? Hope you're all alive and well. Rip to anyone who passed away.
We are back podcasting. We're back for a while. 100%. We're back for a while. Trash Deer, as beautiful as that ship was, it's gone. It's past.
It
That's behind us
unfortunately
now.
got COVID-19, and it passed.
It got COVID-19.
R.I.P. to Trash Deer.
R.I.P. It will always be a special place in our hearts. But guess what? It's Sports and That from here on out. Sports and That. Lucas, say it once.
Sports and that.
See, it just
What are
rolls
we
right off the
talking
tongue.
about? Sports and that. Sports this and that. Sports and that.
Sports and That. Today, though, we are talking about the super exciting amount of football games that happened over this weekend. There were 6 playoff caliber football games. Some
Super
better.
wild card weekend.
Some were great. Some
Super.
sucked ass. Some were super, yes. Some were super. And some were super suck ass.
And some had fucking slime.
And we will talk about the slime game. That is definitely a talking point we are going to go with. But first, we're going to start with the hometown team. You know it. I know it. The Pittsburgh Steelers were frauds all year. And guess what? It showed yesterday, because we're recording on a Monday. It showed last night, less than 24 hours ago. The Steelers lost to the Cleveland Browns for the first time in I don't know how many years in Pittsburgh with a final score.
18 years, bro. 18 years.
18 years, 48-37 is the final score. And really, it all started with a botched snap that sailed 20 feet over Big Ben's head, which the Browns recovered for a touchdown. And you can't come back after that.
Marquise Pouncey retired. I think it's official as of right now.
Did he actually retire?
And it's all because of that. All because of the bad snap.
I saw a rumor
I'm
that
feeling
he's gonna retire today.
It's official. I'm breaking the news.
Oh yeah.
We're back. Sports and That podcast is back.
We're breaking news already. Pouncey's out. But honestly, if we look at it, there is no worse way that game could have possibly started for the Steelers. You botch that, and then Big Ben intercepts it, or throws an interception literally like 2 minutes later.
I just want to start by saying, Big Ben has the nickname Big Ben because he's a 6'5" giant. He's literally the size of the motherfucking clock in London, okay? That snap was probably 2 feet over his fingertips. He didn't even have a chance to touch that ball. That was literally the worst snap I have ever seen on any level of football. Any level. And I've seen some pretty awful kids attempt to snap the football. And this guy is an all-pro and like multiple Pro Bowl caliber center. And this dude snaps it so far that I thought that motherfucker was floating down the Ohio.
Like, I mean, the snap was bad. Then, not to mention the interceptions and the fact that the Steelers couldn't move the ball right off the bat. It just, I mean, you can't go down 28 or 21 points in the first quarter in a playoff game and then just expect to just walk right back. The Browns are a good football team.
So much worse.
They were down 28, weren't they?
Yeah, 28-0.
I literally turned the game off.
28-0.
I went to bed at 10 p.m. There was like literally 2 minutes into the second quarter. They were down 28-0. I said, this is horseshit. And I turned it off.
Okay, so this, I have it pulled up from NFL.com. It went, this is the Steelers' drives. Fumble, interception, punt, interception, punt. That was the first quarter. And the score coming out of the first, it was 28-0. I'm sorry. I thought they at least got a touchdown. It was 28-0. And then to start the second quarter, it was interception, then touchdown. So pretty much Big Ben kind of threw that game.
Yeah, but
It sucked because like Ben, after all of the mistakes, obviously 4 interceptions, you're never gonna win a game with that many turnovers plus the fumble, but they could have had the game. That's why it makes it so frustrating. Is without all of these stupid mistakes, they played well enough in the third and fourth quarter, and the last half of the second to come back. If they didn't have 28 points to come back from, I mean, there were drives late in the fourth that they should have stuck Cleveland, but they scored. They could have had it.
hey man,
Well,
the standard is the standard. This is the Steelers' playoff standard now. The last 3 times the Steelers have been in the playoffs, all 3 playoff games, they've started out each game down at least 21 points. It's insane.
well, and I think there was a very critical part. It was right at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter. All the momentum was with Pittsburgh. It was 4th and 1 on like the 42-yard line, and everyone was thinking the Steelers have to go for it. You're down at that point. You were down. Or were you down? You're still down like 20. Like you were down 2 scores. You're going into the fourth quarter. It's a playoff game. You just got to go for it. And then they come out
Gutless.
and they take the delay of game and you punt the ball. It's like, what are you doing? You had the Cleveland Browns by the testicles and you just let them go like that. It makes absolutely zero sense. They came back, and then even once the Browns hit a field goal after that, or they got a touchdown, I forget. It's just like the Steelers just kind of rolled over. Like they kept going and they got a touchdown really quick, but like you're doing
It's
the
just
math
meant
in
to
your
be.
you're doing the math in your head, and you're thinking you have 30 or 20 points to make up in like 6 minutes. It's not happening, especially for how good the Browns run the football.
It's just how it is, man. You lose 5 of your last 6 games. You can't win.
Oh, as
You can't make it.
as Tomlin said, they died on the vine.
Is that what they
It
said?
is what it
Yeah,
is.
ESPN or whoever asked Tomlin after the game, like, hey, what happened? You guys lost 5 of your last 6 after the 11-0 start, and his exact quote was, "We died on the vine."
Well, and we weren't recording podcasts at the time, but we did talk about the Steelers starting 11-0, and I kept bringing up the point that the fact that they have played a very weak schedule, that was the reason why they were 11-0.
Everyone knew that.
Everyone knows it.
But we just took it. We took it what it is.
And granted, you got to play who's in front of you. You can't play other people who aren't in front of you. But still, it was a very soft 11-0.
All I know is I am 1,000% on this Buffalo Bill bandwagon, no matter what happens. I am rooting so hard for Josh Allen.
Well,
He is so fun to watch.
we'll get to Buffalo in 1 second. I just want to bring up one more point on the Steelers. Afterwards,
Done with the Steelers. I'm out on them.
afterwards, whenever there's a screenshot of Big Ben sitting on the bench looking like he was crying, I can only assume he was crying because he thought how much porn he is now able to watch.
Shit, I'm glad I didn't see that live. I would have cried.
Shit, I think his problem
That's my
was he wasn't
quarterback,
watching
man.
enough porn this season. That motherfucker.
His elbow.
It's true. He's clogged up.
Exactly. His forearm was so tight he couldn't even extend it to get the deep ball going. That's why he threw all these dinky short passes all season long.
His elbow was just too locked up. It's used to just hammering out passes.
Like-
Maybe that's why he could actually throw it 70 times in a game.
Exactly, man. Usually his forearm is so loose and it's the size of a goddamn coconut. He's just out there chucking it. He doesn't even have to get any leg into it. This year,
Big Ben-
he's on the
Big Ben-
the No Nut November 24/7 365, and his arm turned into a wet lasagna noodle.
He was probably thinking about all the subscriptions he now has to fire back up. He was thinking of all the passwords in his mind that he forgot that he would now have to remember to sign back into all of his porn sites. That's why Big Ben was crying, 100%. Just like Lucas
Over
is
it.
right now. But like Lucas said,
Sad. I'm just sad.
I think 2 out of the 3 of us, because I know which team Chance is now rooting for. 2 out of the 3 of us are now Bills fans right now. We are circling the wagon with the Bills. Josh Allen, he's our guy.
Stephon Diggs.
It's Josh Allen is not Patrick Mahomes, but they're still our guys. And
There are a lot of fucking times you're like, Jesus Christ, Josh Allen, just hold on to the ball. And I think that's what differs him from Mahomes, but I don't know, man. I think Allen's got it. I think they're going to make a run.
Well, he's the
They
quarterback where
already are, but
He gives the fans what they want, and then he gives the haters what they want. It's that simple. It works out great for everyone. And you don't have to worry about it. Because, yeah, he'll throw an interception or two, but guess what? He'll get 4 touchdowns, too. So it's like, boom, boom. It's great.
Yeah, high risk, high reward.
He's definitely a baller.
And then, I mean, we know they beat the
Indianapolis Colts.
Colts. Thank you. I was struggling there for a second.
Or sold Phil
Is this-
Rivers at his 17 kids.
I was about to say, is this the end of Phil Rivers?
I don't know. I heard the head coach, Frank Wright, for the Indianapolis Colts after the game say that he would be happy to have Phillip back. So
Really?
we'll see. Yeah. Phillip, honestly, I think he has one more year. It was like a 1 year with a 1 year option, and I think he might come back.
Well,
Phil Rivers after the game said it was a neat time and it was like a heck of a fun time playing for the Colts. So who knows what he's going to do after thrilling words like that.
Exactly.
Well, see, in Phil's brain, whenever you have like 13 kids and you just don't want them to be swearing the whole time, you probably in your mind, you just erase swear words completely.
He's got to be done.
Gosh
I mean, he
darn
didn't play
it.
terrible, but
Like,
He played better than Ben. I'd rather have him than Ben on my
True.
team.
okay, let's not get
I want
carried
Sam
away. now.
Darnold.
Let's not get carried away.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm talking about having Phil on our team. Sam Darnold,
Yeah.
I would take that, but I think Sam's staying.
that's a different tangent. That's next episode.
Yeah, that's our how do we rebuild the Steelers to be Super Bowl contenders.
Lineman,
You're out on the
All
limb?
of them.
Pouncy at Ben at all the
to it.
TikTokers.
Not to it.
Get them out.
Filer,
Ban TikTok from the locker room. Get it out.
Antonio Brown Jr. Get him out.
Mike Tomlin needs to sign up for NordVPN, and he needs to install that shit in the locker room so none of them can access the Wi-Fi.
No
Yeah, no free
TikTokers can
ads,
get on the
homie.
Wi-Fi. Well, and did you guys see? And I know we're back on the Browns Steelers at this point, but did you guys see today? Chase Claypool came out and said that like the Browns are gonna Browns. They're gonna get their ass beat by the Chiefs.
Yeah, I just saw
It's
that.
like
People
It's
like attention, man. He's a fucking kid. Imagine being a kid and having millions of people know who you are.
But like, don't you think there's a certain extent where like you just think like, you know what, we just lost. I'm just gonna shut up for like a day at least.
That's
You think?
that's what I've been saying. I have no problem with Juju or any of these guys as people. I'm sure they're great people. I know Juju does a lot for the community and stuff, but like, come on, you're a professional. Your job is to play football, not out there dancing while the damn play's going on. You see that video of Juju? He's like in motion and he stops right before the play is gonna go and he starts dancing and then Ben calls hut and then he starts going. It's insane.
Yeah, like, it's unreal.
I did not see that video, but that does not surprise me one bit.
Yeah,
He is-
it was late in the fourth quarter too. Like they're down 2 scores to the Browns in the playoffs, and he's doing goddamn TikTok dances out there.
Well, and you know, maybe that's, I mean, you have a bunch of young wide receivers that maybe that's just part of it. Where, you know, at least, you know, AB, he was crazy, but at least he was like, you know, he was there to win. He already got his clout,
You know,
per se.
I'm tired of the young excuse. Like those guys are a few years younger than us. We're not out there. We're not dancing at our jobs making TikToks.
Well, maybe you're not dancing.
I'm not dancing, TikToking while I'm working. You know, I get fired for that shit.
Well, for them, it's just clout. It gives them more tickets and whatnot, or not tickets. It gives them more jersey sales.
Pisses off a bunch of yinzers. You throw them goddamn phones into the river.
Speaking of dancing, how about the Saints dancing all over the Chicago Bears in the slimed up end zone on Saturday night?
I don't know about you guys, but if you didn't watch the Nickelodeon broadcast, you missed the fuck out.
All right.
You had to.
So okay, so right hand up right now. I was day drunk and I may have taken a nap through 3/4 of the Saints Bears game. Hands
Typical
up.
Tyler, napping with Nickelodeon on TV.
That was me. I was having a great time watching the Titans and Ravens. Got to the Bears Saints, watched one offensive go about from the Bears and fell asleep. That's on them,
It was
not
a
on me.
snooze
Well, let
fest.
me-
It was
let
one
me
of the
tell you
most boring
something.
games ever.
That one offensive series that you watched for the Bears was the exact same offensive series that the Bears ran for the rest of the game. They didn't
Just
do
do
shit.
nothing?
They did absolutely nothing. They ran
Well,
one.
and
No,
so-
they had less than 50 yards rushing. Trubisky had less than 200 yards passing.
They had one trick play where they literally had a wide open touchdown. MVP Mitch dropped it in there like he was motorboating a nice pair of titties, and the wide receiver literally just dropped the ball in the end zone.
Dropped it.
Literally right through his hands. It was like a
50-yard dime.
dime. This was a dime.
That's going to be one of those drops that literally hurt a fan for probably, I don't know, 10 years. They're going to remember that one drop because I don't think the Saints were lighting up the Bears until, at least not till the very end whenever I was watching. I mean, it was a close game
They
relatively.
never lit them up at all.
No, it was close until the end.
The Bears' defense did all right. It's just that offense is so atrocious.
Yeah, it's
So
bad.
to me, if you're the Bears, like, what do you even do though? Because like you have Mitch, I think he's a free agent. You can't. It's like you can't bring him back. But like,
You gotta,
No,
you
you're
gotta,
gonna get
you
rid
gotta
of him for
fire
sure.
the coach, and you gotta get rid of Mitch.
but who are
They're
you going
gonna
to
at
get then?
least
Are you
get
just
rid
going
of
to go to
Mitch.
rebuild mode?
Old
a lot out
old
there.
Doug Peterson, the old Philadelphia coach, is fresh on the market.
So, but like Doug Peterson couldn't get Carson Wentz to do anything. Like Carson Wentz looked so bad under Doug
Oh,
Peterson,
you know
except for
what?
those 2 years.
I don't know. I
Doug
don't think it's as simple
Peterson
as
can
that.
go to the Bears. They'll let Mitch go, and then he can trade Khalil Mack for Carson Wentz, and he can build a dynasty there in Chicago.
There's no way that would ever happen.
I don't know.
No way.
No, there's
No, because
definitely
I don't think Doug Peterson liked Carson Wentz.
not. No, they hate each other.
They're not
That's
getting rid
why.
of the coach
That's
in
why Doug
Chicago.
Peterson.
Matt Nagy's staying in Chicago.
Matt Nagy's a stooge.
He looks like someone who like buys and eats the same stuff every day.
He
Like
loo-
he will eat the same ham sandwich every day, but he won't buy like a whole pound of ham. He will only buy like 2 slices at a time. Go home, eat said 2 slices, and then the next day on the way home from work, go to the same grocery store and buy the same slice of ham and go from there. That's what Matt Nagy looks like to me.
He looks like
And
the
his
kind.
offense is the exact replica of that.
He looks like the kind of
I see.
guy that would be your substitute teacher in high school, and he would be trying to act like the actual teacher, like teach you and shit, when he has no
Yeah, and
idea what
he
the
would
hell
get
he's
you in
doing.
trouble when you aren't listening.
And he's literally trying to teach MVP Mitch algebra, and MVP Mitch is too busy staring at the girl in the classroom.
Yeah, it's just if you're the Bears though, like I said, I mean, you have such a good defense, you have such good people on defense, and I just don't know what you do. That's all. But I mean, hey, that's for them to decide, not for us.
Yeah,
'Cause
man.
we got our own fucking shit franchise to deal with.
We got our own shit floating down the river.
But can we all agree that the Nickelodeon NFL games should be a permanent staple from here on out?
I
Yeah.
saw a fantastic idea on Reddit that every week they should put the 2 lowest seeding teams into the Nick game. Okay, just get them in there, let them slime it out. Like, can you imagine this season, like the NFC East, just having the Nick game every week? Like those teams.
They need to get rid of the CGI slime and start implementing practical
slime.
effects.
That's what they need to do. They should make the entire field slime. Actually,
They were going to slime the MVP, the Nickelodeon's valuable player, Mitch Trubisky. They were going to slime him in real life, but they didn't want to slime the loser. They thought it would be a bad taste, so they had to cancel it.
Well, just imagine. So, because I'm sure everyone saw, whenever there was a touchdown, there was the explosion of slime all
It
over.
was sick.
Just imagine running across the end zone line and just getting bukkakied by real slime. Think about that. How many people would watch that? Kids would love that shit.
dude,
That's worth ticket price, baby.
imagine a crowd just full of kids. Like a Jonas Brothers concert back in the day, and then
It'd be
the
lit.
slime was just spraying everywhere, and the Washington
All you hear
the
was
Washington
screaming all the
football
time.
team is marching down the field. Dewey Haskins, he's out there leading the charge. Maybe doesn't
Thank
get
you.
Dewey
cut.
Haskins.
Doesn't get cut in this alternate universe.
Well, but no chance. You gotta remember they get stopped at like the 35-yard line and they have to kick a field goal
Oh, you're right.
to go up 9-6.
You're right. Field goals only.
But see, I thought make it a Thursday night game because I feel like Thursday night football always sucks. There's
Yep.
never good matchups Thursday night. So make it Thursday night because everyone will watch it. Everyone will be like, "Wow, look at this Nickelodeon broadcast." And some
Yeah,
of the
Nickelodeon. Go ahead.
I guess some of the pictures, some of the screens, I forget what the word of it is right now, were just legendary. Whenever they compared
Graphics.
graphics, thank you. Whenever they compared Patrick and SpongeBob to like Drew Brees and Taysom Hill, It's like you can't get that on any other network except for Nickelodeon. Think about
It's
that.
gold. It's gold.
Definitely gold, man.
We need to have a Nickelodeon Thursday night game, a Monday night 5 p.m. game, and a Tuesday night like 6 p.m.
We
game.
also need the Wednesday night
like those
COVID
additions.
rematch game every.
Monday night 5 p.m. was awesome.
Dude, there was some classic weeks.
I don't
this
know why. It
season.
just feels so sick.
Well, because go ahead, Chance.
I just enjoyed the COVID games that got moved around. You know, that one week I think we
Yeah.
had an NFL game every day of the week. It was pretty sick.
Every single day.
There's so many games every week. Why the hell do you got to have 16 of them playing at 1 o'clock?
It was kind of nice because there was a certain point throughout the season where you're like, wait, is there football on tonight? And you would have to do like the
Yeah.
mental game of like, what's tonight? Tonight's like a Friday. Is there a game on? Holy fuck, there's an NFL game on tonight. Or like, oh, it's except for like Wednesdays. Wednesdays were just the worst day then because there was never a game on a Wednesday. But yeah, you just got to the point where you were like, I don't know what day it is, but I know I can sit on my couch, drink a beer, and watch a football game. And that is awesome. That is the America I want to live in.
That's the only America that I know. I don't know what we have now. Not America.
Yeah, Tyler, how was the Capitol the other day?
What do you mean the capital? What do you mean the capital?
Yeah, wasn't that you
I
walking
thought,
out?
I, thought, I
with-
thought you were down there.
weren't you
you
walking
thought-
out on
oh,
that
no, that
podium?
was-
I thought we saw you.
No, you know what? I get that all the time. I have the same tattoo as that dude, but no, actually,
Oh, that's it.
Damn.
his
You
is
said you were going to the rally. I thought you just meant.
no,
Yeah.
no. See, he has that guy had like a raccoon head thing on. Mine's a
Oh, you meant. Oh, okay, I got you.
Yours
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
possum.
yeah, mine's a possum. Totally different, but I can see where
Yeah.
you get confused, Lucas.
Those are totally different.
Let's see what. Oh, let's talk about our other divisional rival, the Ravens at the Tennessee Titans. This one was an awesome grudge game that I didn't even know was a grudge game until it was a grudge game.
I knew there was going to be some shit in this game after the last time these two teams faced in the regular season. For anyone who doesn't know, during the regular season, the Tennessee Titans visited the Baltimore Ravens and decided to have their pregame prayer in the middle of the Ravens logo on the field. And the only one who seemed to give a shit about it was the Ravens head coach, John Harbaugh, who decided to try and fight the entire Titans team by himself. And that caused a lot of drama between the two teams, and it made this game a little bit more personal since Baltimore was traveling down to Tennessee this time.
Well, so for those of you who didn't watch it, pretty much the game, it was a tightly contested game. It pretty much came down to the Ravens went down, scored a last-minute touchdown to go up 20-13. The Titans just got the ball, kind of going a little bit, and then Ryan Tannehill throws a pick to, can't think of his name right now, doesn't matter, threw a pick to him, essentially ending the game. And literally, while the game is still going on, I mean, there's still time left on the clock, you have like half of the Ravens team dancing on the Titans logo and doing their little stepping and dancing and whatnot. Totally grudge match. It was a total FU to Tennessee. And you know what? Tennessee just kind of had to shut up and take it. Because guess what? If you didn't want them to do it, probably should have won that football game.
The Ravens just played better. Like they shut Derrick Henry down to almost non-existent, and Lamar Jackson is just faster than everyone somehow.
Dude,
Literally faster than every human ever made.
he's been on a mission since he pooped his pants. So I literally think the Ravens are my pick now for the AFC and Super Bowl. I literally think that it'll come down to them and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and the Ravens will win. I just think it's their year. It looks like it. Lamar is on a mission.
See, I don't know. I like
The
Lamar.
Ravens Bills is going to be a really good game. That's all there is to it.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
got
think
crazy defense of both very like sporadic offenses.
Two electric young quarterbacks. You know, the future of the quarterback position in the NFL. It's going to be wild.
See, the only thing that worries me with the Ravens is that I feel like if any team can take away the run, they're just done. No matter what, like they're done. And granted, I mean Lamar, he ripped off like a 45-yard touchdown run. But like the second you take that away, I still do not trust Lamar as a passer.
I just don't see any defenses left in the playoffs on the AFC side that can slow that down. Like the Bills have a decent defense, but you know, the Colts were carving them up on the run game. Jonathan Taylor was busting runs left and right on Saturday.
Well, and so maybe it is just no one can stop the Ravens' run, and so just from here on out, they're just going to run their way all the way to the Super Bowl. And if so, that's just what we got to live with, and everyone can no longer say that Lamar is a fraud, and that he was just a one-trick pony.
Took them this long to focus their offense on their run.
Just took him shitting his pants on primetime game against the Cleveland Browns.
That's it.
Well, whenever you shit your pants, that kind of changes a man, you know? Changes him deep down in his soul.
I mean, if you can shit your pants on national television, I mean, you can do anything at that point. You have no fears. You just gotta run with it, you know? And that's what he does. He just runs with it.
Yeah. Well, there's a pun for you right there. Okay, let's talk about Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson.
Fraud.
Yeah.
The Seahawks lost to the Rams.
Fraud.
I wouldn't
Russell Wilson will never ever get an MVP vote his entire life.
I wouldn't let Russ cook at my local McDonald's. Man, he looked so bad out there.
He's gonna undercook it, just like he underthrows, because he's underachieved.
He's also under the height
short.
requirement to be an NFL quarterback.
Well, you know, I don't know
Got
if
him.
I don't know if you can call a Super Bowl champion an underachiever by any means.
This season, the past couple seasons,
Well,
in playoffs in general, he's not very good in playoffs in his career.
Yeah, outside of the 2 Super Bowl runs that feel like a millennium ago, he really hasn't done much the past couple. I think they've been eliminated in the wild card round like 3 years ago.
I see, and maybe it's just our just stupid brains or my stupid
It's
brain.
one of those perspective things, bro. You think he's better than he is.
Well, no,
I mean, he has really good halves of seasons, but then he just...
I think he's good. I think he's like a slightly better version of like Tony Romo back in the day, where like he was really good. He just didn't do a lot in the postseason.
I bet he's still a top 5, top 6 quarterback in the league, but he's just...
Oh, definitely.
He just can't achieve in the playoffs.
I mean, I think every team except for like 3 would trade anything for Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, I would have Russell Wilson on the lures any day of the
Yeah,
week.
for sure.
Like I said, we got jerkless
But the
noodle arm
defense-
Ben.
If the Seahawks would have the Steelers' defense, they would have beat the Rams.
Well,
Like, Goff had a terrible game.
And I think the Seahawks, maybe they're at the point where, like, me mentally at least, or at least Russell Wilson's at the point mentally where, like, he's kind of where Aaron Rodgers was a couple years ago. Where, like, you know he's, like, so good and, like, he won a Super Bowl and, like, everyone would love to have him. But then you're kind of like, but, like, what have you done for me lately? I feel like Russell Wilson's starting to get to that point where it's like, look, Russ, you're great. Everyone would love to have you, but, like, what have you done for me lately? Because now it's starting to get to the point where, like you guys said, he's losing the first round of playoffs. He's not going to deep playoff runs. And, like, I mean, they finished 12-4, but, like, what the hell did that get him? They got him a first round out against the Rams. Your divisional matchup, divisional rivals.
Frauds. That's all there is.
And not to mention, yeah.
Are you saying that this offseason the Seahawks have to use their first round pick and draft a quarterback?
I
Probably
mean,
trade up, draft Trevor Lawrence. That way they light a fire under Russell Wilson's ass, like old Aaron Rodgers' ass was lit up in Green Bay this past offseason when they drafted a quarterback in the first round. Now he's well on his way to clinching another MVP.
They just have to strengthen the defense. That's all it is to it.
some people would say that the Packers wasted a first round pick, but did they if they got an MVP out of Aaron Rodgers? So therefore, Chance, you are correct. If the Seahawks want to win another Super Bowl, or at least have a chance, they got to draft a quarterback this year. It's that simple. Tell Russ,
Gotta
hey,
trade
guess
for
what?
Mason Rudolph. Light a fire under him.
Yeah. Well, that big head, I mean, really, I think everyone in the state of Washington
That's a
would be
dumb
scared with that big
face.
head.
I mean, if we could
He's a very...
if we could take the air out of Mason Rudolph's head, or the air that's left, and pump it into Ben's arm, maybe he can get some more air under those balls, you know.
That's a functioning quarterback right there. And, you know, the other thing that I keep thinking about, too, with the Rams, they didn't even have Jared Goff, a fully healthy Jared Goff. He had a broken thumb going into this game.
He played almost bad. I would say
He
bad.
couldn't even grip the football.
Yeah.
And
No
they're
mobility.
and I'm pretty sure Jamal Adams, like, broke their starting quarterback's neck.
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty hit. I don't know how the flag got picked up on that.
Well,
I'm
and
taking whatever the Packer line is against the Rams.
I think it was
That's
Just
yeah.
can't
whatever it
remember
is.
what
I'm
it
taking
was.
it.
I think it was
Whatever
like
it is.
something.
that's it.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
would take them by a touchdown.
it's in Lambeau. How can you only take? Oh, that's crazy.
Goff's not a cold weather quarterback.
Dude, the Rams aren't a cold weather team.
Goff isn't
They're
even
those little-
guaranteed to start again. That other guy might be
Yeah.
back.
Wolford.
Wolf,
Wolford can't play in
Wolford.
Lambeau.
But hey, remember this. Put this in the brain. L.A. This is the year of L.A. Lakers won a title. The Dodgers won a title. Rams.
I think this is more the year for teams that haven't won shit in a fucking 50 years. So I think the Cleveland Browns might get their first chip. You know.
Bucks.
I-
Saints haven't won in like 7 years.
Yeah, since 2009 was the last time they won.
So 11.
I don't know,
Well,
man.
what about?
Bills.
Well, you
Yeah,
know what team
Bills.
hasn't won in a while? The Bucks.
Ravens.
Fuck
The
the
Bucks have not won in a while.
Fuck.
They now have their franchise quarterback, Tom Brady. Used to play for New England. In case anyone listening to this podcast never knew this yet, Brady's on the Bucks. The Bucks beat the football team by a score 31-23. They could actually be poised to make a deep playoff run. I know they got to play the Saints, which I know, Chance, you're thinking the Saints are going to run away with it, but like
I don't
think
they're gonna run away with the game necessarily. I think they're gonna win, but they just kind of have their number. Just how it is. I know that the Steelers kind of had the Browns number and blah blah blah, but
and look at what happened.
I think this is different. I think that this team knows they saw what the Steelers just did and they're like, yeah, we don't want that shit to happen to us.
Well, I think the Steelers were just purely incompetent. I think the Bucks are a way better team than the Steelers were.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like the Steelers, they overlooked their opponent. Like, oh, we beat the Browns twice, or we beat the Browns once and almost beat them with our second and third stringers. Like, they haven't had practice all week, so we don't really have to do shit. And then next thing you know, they're down 28-0, and all their heads are fucking tucked between their legs.
How the fuck do we get back to the Steelers?
That's how it
many
just keeps
times have I
happening.
tried to bring this away.
But all right. So I'm bringing
I can only
this.
cry
I'm
so
bringing
much.
this around. The Saints beat the Buccaneers twice already this season, and
Oh,
I'm
it's
saying
hard to beat teams 3
they're-
times.
It
it's
is
hard to
hard
beat
to beat a
teams
team
3
3
times.
times.
But I don't think the Saints are just going to overlook the Bucks. I think they know they have to beat this fucking team.
It's hard to even like make a decision. Like I'm looking at stats on both
The
games.
Saints have
both
literally
teams.
been eliminated in heartbreaking fashion like 3 postseasons in a row. Like they literally are not losing. They are
But
going.
same with Tom Brady this season though. He's had some fucking just brain farts, some terrible plays,
Like-
and they just haven't looked that great. But if they play like they did last week, like Mike Evans gets 20 yards a catch, 200, almost 120 yards, like it's hard to stop.
And Antonio
The Saints
Brown's
defense
starting
is-
to look like Antonio Brown again, which is scary.
Yeah, he's making long catches.
So, like I said, I don't think it'll be like a blowout, but I do think the Saints will win.
Thinking hammering an over on this game,
Dude,
just to fucking root for it. That's too obvious though. It'll score.
the
20
Saints have a
points.
great defense. It'll probably be the under.
So do the Bucks.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's one of those games that you think is going to be like a crazy scoring game, but it'll probably be like another Saints-Bears game where it's like 21-9 or
Let's see
whatever.
what the line is first. It might even be low as it is.
Well, as
But,
Lucas looks up the line, I also think watching, and this is what I thought watching the Bears and Saints game, like
51.
51. That's actually not a bad line, but I just feel like the Saints are kind of like the crybaby team. Like they got completely boned by the non-interception call, and they've lost like the past couple years, but just like absolute shit ways. But like every time I see them, I just think like, maybe it's the colors. Maybe that's what it is. It's that gold and black. I don't know. I just don't
What
have
do you
it.
mean the crybaby team? Explain. What does that even mean?
Like all they talked about last year was like,
they,
or 2 years
they
ago.
literally got robbed. I mean,
That was
they
the
have a
most
right to
blatantly
bitch.
missed call of all time.
Clearly, it was in any sport. It was so obvious.
Yeah, but then like they cried so much that like they had to get an NFL rule change because of it.
Yeah, and honestly, the rule was kind of smart. The NFL just didn't give a shit to enforce it, and then they just got rid of it because it just pissed people off because they didn't use it right. I'm not going back to the past. Look, I'm just They have every right to be pissed they got screwed. And then that gave us one of the
I agree.
shittiest Super Bowls in the history of the Super Bowls. So I hope that you enjoyed watching the Rams get completely shut out by the Patriots that year.
Hey, it was a good defensive football game.
Oh,
Okay,
it was fantastic.
you don't get those very often.
I don't even think the Rams scored a point.
We covered that on Trash Tier Sports back in the day.
I
some
remember.
reason-
Only Super Bowl.
For some reason, I thought they got like a field goal on that. But anyway, I don't know. There's just something about the Saints. I just don't. I'm just not there yet with them. I don't know. I just haven't been there for the past couple years. Everyone says how great they are, and then they just lose in stupid ways in the playoffs, and it just sours it every time.
Not this year, man. It's different.
I can see almost just solely on Kamara versus Fournette that I could pick the Saints over Bucks. But it's so even to me.
Can we also have a quick talking point about how I will give it? Hey, nice thing about the Saints. I think Kamara is the best running back in the NFL.
He's the best
I think
all
The best
around
players.
for sure.
Yeah,
I
it's crazy.
like just watching him play. It's like, how don't you just double team him every time? Like, just put two people back there to just spy him. I mean, obviously he's still gonna
You got
like
Big Mike out in the
Yeah,
end zone.
that's the
You can't-
problem.
can't-
You got to
yeah.
double team Elvin, but then you
Jared
got
Cook.
Mike Thomas. You got to double team him. You can't double team everybody. And yeah,
Cook's a beast tight end.
Drew Brees is the quarterback who just like spreads it around to everybody. Yeah.
well everything within 10 yards. Yes.
Hey, he throws the deep ball. He throws it deeper than Ben. I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's because Drew
Ben was
Brees.
slinging it. I thought
Drew
Ben was
Brees does.
throwing good
Drew Brees
when he
actually has
was throwing
sex.
good.
Ben doesn't. It's that simple. But see, now we're getting back on the Steelers.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Ben has sex. I just don't. He doesn't masturbate. And God
It
knows.
was just a few mistakes. We just got so unlucky. If it weren't for those fucking mistakes.
It's because of the goddamn TikToks, man. I fucking hate TikTok. It all comes back to that shit. It's just need to ban it from the locker room. The greater
All right.
good.
Overall, fantastic weekend of football. Loved it. I'm actually glad.
Super wild card weekend.
I'm
Super.
Glad that they changed the playoff structure to allow for this, because now it's kind of cool that the one seed means so much more. You get more games in. What was the team that got in for the behind? Oh, the Colts got in. The Colts deserve to be in the playoffs, so
Yep.
they deserve to get in and actually play it. Now,
Bears didn't.
well, you know, Bears on the other
Redskins
hand.
didn't.
I'm sorry.
But there's
the-
nothing you can
The
do
what
about it.
team?
Oh shit.
Wait,
Don't
what was the
fucking cancel
question?
me.
I was
Don't
distracted.
cancel me, dude. The football team and the Bears did not deserve it.
Dude,
Well, you don't
I
have any
said-
other option. It's just
what
that
I
the
said-
division's so bad.
Chance, what I said was that I like the new playoff structure because it made the one seed way more important. And like, if you look at the 7 seeds, like the Colts deserved to be in.
Oh, I 100% agree. I like the playoff structure too. It also like made the regular season more important down the stretch. Like usually week 17 is like nothing. All the good teams in the playoffs like bench their starters, and it's basically just a preseason game. This year,
Yeah.
like every team except for the Chiefs like actually had something to compete for. So I think almost every team played their starters except for a couple that honestly didn't give a shit about their seeding. But it was more interesting. And also, I think that the extra playoff games are sweet.
Well, and plus it gives you like 48 hours straight of just football. It's awesome.
Yeah, of course. I'm all for more football. That's why I don't care if they add extra games. Fuck the players.
Yeah. It's just one more team. Who cares?
All right. So we're gonna put a nice little bow on the Super Wild Card weekend. We are going to cover next weekend's game later on the week. We're going to try to put out another podcast on Friday to cover those games. So stay tuned for those. Is there anything else we wanted to go over tonight, boys?
Can we talk about the slime?
We can talk about the slime. We'll go back and talk about the slime. What did you want to talk about, a chance?
Yeah, fuck, man. How cool would it be just to get slime, bro? Just think about it.
Feels so good. Dude, imagine being naked at the 50-yard line. Just getting
I don't know
slimed.
about that.
You gotta feel it on your body,
You might end
bro.
up being a registered sex offender. You walk
No,
out.
it's all part of a plan. They're all in on it, dude. It's okay. You just gotta feel it on your body.
Who is that guy who was the like creator of Drake and Josh and iCarly and shit? He's like a Nick producer. That guy's like a child molester. There's like a tweet about it.
What
Sick.
the fuck are you talking about?
Sick, bro.
Yeah, look it up. He likes feet and
I don't
shit.
care.
I don't think I want to type into Google
I-
Nickelodeon child molester. I don't
No,
think I wanna
no,
type that
it's
in.
it's the
Too many
he's literally the
results.
producer of like iCarly and
I believe
Drake
it.
and Josh and shit. I can't remember his name, but yeah, it's crazy, man. He probably has ties to Epstein. Think about it.
Maybe. Who am I to tell?
I mean,
Alright.
who are you?
Who are we all?
All right, now we're getting way too philosophical.
Sorry to get you off track. I just had to get the slime out of my system.
No, that's fine. That is fine. That's what sports in that is for. That was the in that part. We already covered the sports, so that was the in that part. So that's fine. But I think we're gonna.
And in future episodes, we'll get more into the that parts. But
Yeah,
for right
we're just-
now, we're just getting our little sticks wet.
As Lucas makes nice finger motions there. That was truly just a treat for me. That was a treat for me to chance on that one.
Yeah, it looked like he was eating chopsticks to put it in anyone's mind. That footage.
Nah, dude, I'm not eating chopsticks. I'm eating pussy.
Yeah, like a fucking man. All right, we're gonna call it there, boys. Great first episode.
Good to be back.
We will talk. Feels great to be back. Feels great to be talking to the mic, talking about sports and other stuff. Ugh,
Feels like
love it.
being naked, covered in slime on the 50-yard line.
Jesus Christ. Well, I know what
Now
I'm getting
we're
you for Christmas. I know what I'm getting you for Christmas now.
I hope it's a pocket pussy full of slime.
I'm just gonna get you a 55-gallon tub of slime.
What color?
There's only one
I'll
color.
help you fill it.
Oh, there's all kinds of colors. I saw all kinds of slime back in the old elementary school science fair days. Kids used to make
No,
that
dude,
shit all the
there's
time.
only Nickelodeon green slime, and that's the only thing that matters.
That's the
That's
only
the
kind
only
I want.
slime. That's the only slime this podcast will stand for.
I want to get slimed. Lucas, you want to get slimed with me?
Hell yeah, bro. Let's go get slime.
Let's go get slimed. Hey, if this
Fuck off, Tyler.
if this
See you later.
podcast gets 10,000 listens, I'll get slimed.
Okay, so Chance is not getting slimed right now.
That counts for future podcasts as well. Any podcast.
Totally.
10,000.
Okay, now we got something to shoot for.
10,000
Wait,
listens total,
Total.
and I will get slimed.
What if I
Can't
pay
wait
for
till
like
we
a
get to
Chinese
episode
bot?
10,000.
You paid for a bot.
Like a
listen to-
Chinese.
just
A view bot, dude. Great idea. Why don't we do that?
let's just
Pay for
viewbot
Viewbot.
viewbot our
There
podcast.
has to be a way to get views.
Do you think
Just
Spotify
to get
checks for
10,000.
viewbots?
Who cares? We gotta get follower bots on our Instagram.
We'll be the second people banned from Spotify in the history of the app.
Who's
Oh,
first?
that's right.
Donald Trump was the first.
Damn, dude. That
Which I don't even know how.
good
does he-
silver.
Does he have like a rap album or something we didn't know about that he just got canceled?
I think he was doing one with Antonio Brown, if I'm not mistaken. It's called "I Got a Lot of Money,"
Well, that'd be fire, right?
or
there.
actually, it's "I Had a Lot of Money."
All right, guys. That's it. That's the end of the first episode. Thank you for listening. We will talk to you later.
Peace.
Shout out Evan DeFalco, keeping the COVID
My man.
on the down low.
Fuck COVID.